Who would you rather have? And I told you this last night. I wanted you to think about it.
We've had time.
Were you dreaming about this? Who would you rather have for the next 8 years? Ja Morant or Zion Williamson?
I want Mike to answer first.
I don't even know who the first person.
But do you know who Zion is?
Zion's the guy that had the Nike shoe incident.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. His giant foot blew out of the Nike shoe.
Exploded through the
I've watched highlights of that guy. That guy's got like spring-loaded feet.
Did Nike's stock plummet after that?
I don't
think
know.
so.
I switched to Reebok after that. I told Sean I've been rocking Reebok, and no disrespect to Nike. I don't want to I don't want to decrease your odds of guys getting sponsored by Nike.
You and Neymar just riding Nike.
But no, Reebok. I've been running in Reebok recently, and they make a strong shoe. But Zion, I would go with Zion, and we discussed this, and I think it's because I think Ja is an incredible player. Yeah. I think he's going to be, and it's not anything of lack of what he does. I think Zion's come around once a century, and Ja's might come around once every 2 decades. That's my thesis statement when you ask me this.
And mine would be, I want Ja.
You want Ja?
Just to do the opposite, because I know you're going Zion. But I want Ja just because. Look, I agree with that. No, I agree with that statement. I just don't think. I don't think Zion Williamson is built for an 8-year trajectory of success. I just think that body type, that kind of torque, he's just going to get injured. And then he's not going to be able to rely on the supreme athleticism. Whereas I think Ja is closer to a nice jump shot than Zion is.
But Ja's game is also predicated on extreme athleticism as well. Like, he reminds me of a Derrick Rose, like when he was 22, like that explosion. And if you get injured, the same applies to Zion as well. But if you lose that explosion, Ja's a great shooter, but he's not like a Steph, right?
Because then it comes down to creating space for your shot. And that's really hard to do consistently.
And Ja's maybe 6'3", 6'4".
But I think like 6'2", 6'3".
Okay, so let's say they both get an injury and their athleticism decreases by 40%.
I still think it's a guard-led league. It's like, if someone gets injured, right? Who do you want who's coming back from that injury? The guy who still can like make decisions like CP3 and like still like dish the ball, or the guy that's just gonna be like standing there doing nothing.
But if you're strong and 6'7", I think you can afford to lose some athleticism. Remember Dirk at the end of his career? I mean, he's different. He's 7 foot tall, but like he had no athleticism, but because of his size could still create a shot.
Yeah. Okay. It's not like I'm like completely against Zion. I would go with Ja, just watching this playoff
and
series.
We'll see. I mean, the Pelicans were not
he had 46
great.
last
There was a lot of like dysfunction, and I think once that team becomes more of a solid contender, and Zion had an incredible statistical season, but he's not like, for whatever reason, he wasn't really covered by the media as much as I think he deserved, because you couldn't turn on the TV and watch the Pelicans every night on national television.
Yeah. One of the worst coach teams in the league, by the way. Stan Van Gundy.
I just remember the Stan Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Like that awkward moment
weird.
when he like grabbed the mic and was like, "We're doing great, right, Stan?"
And Stan had just said like, "Oh, yeah, he's trying to get me fired. I heard that from somebody." And they're like, "What?"
Was that in Orlando?
Yeah, Dwight Howard's trying to get me fired. Like to the media. And then Dwight comes up and says, "Hey, yeah,
like,
what are you
grabs his
telling these
shoulder.
guys?" He's like, you telling these guys,
Come on,
like,
Uncle Stan.
Yeah, and he was like, "All right, are we done here?"
Yeah, that was
And
cringy. That
and,
was
and then
super
Dwight
cringy.
Howard just like be like, they're like, "You trying to get Stan fired?" And he's like, "Where'd you hear that from?" And he was like, and they're like, "Stan just said."
Jazz age living, whole fashion sipping, pizzazz ain't missing, got the fat cats